I feel so bright, I feel so gifted, I feel so high, I feel so lifted. By my side is where you're sitting, in my life is where you fit in, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome in this new video. I hope that all of you are doing great. In today's video, I want to talk about your biggest enemy in trading. So let's actually get right into it. If you're not subscribed yet to the channel, make sure you do that. I would truly appreciate it. And you can also leave a like under the video if you like the mindset type videos. I would truly appreciate it as well. So let's actually start. What is, or I should say, who is your biggest enemy in trading? Well, it's yourself, your own behaviors, your own opinions, your own emotions, and your own impulsiveness, right? Your own self. You are your biggest enemy in trading. It will always be like that because we're all humans, right? And what you have to understand is that humans are creatures of their emotions, right? Like if you study evolution, if you study how humans were, for example, 10,000 years ago, or 20,000 years ago, 50,000 years ago, you will see that their basic instinct, and if we compare it to, what we are today, you will see that they are very similar. So evolution takes a very, 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 very long time, right? So the humans that we are today, well, we are not that different from the humans of 10,000 years ago, when it comes to the instincts and what drives us, basically. So when you truly understand this, well, you understand that humans and trading are really hard to match together because one is emotional and the activity in itself requires to not be emotional and be more logical, right? So with that simple, way of looking at it, you see that matching those two things together, it already creates something that is relatively hard. So that's the reason why you are your own biggest enemy. Like the only person that can really stop you to be profitable is yourself, right? Because if you really think about it, well, we all trade the same market. We all look at the same charts. We all have, pretty much access to the same information because of the internet, right? So the question now is, what makes the difference between, people who are profitable and people who are not profitable? And the answer is the person in itself, right? So now, how to improve your quality as a trader, or your quality of thinking, we should say? Well, it comes back to simply asking yourself a lot of questions and taking the time to think deeply about trading, all right? In today's world, in today's society, people are so focused on, like rushing everything and trying to go, to many places at the same time, doing many things. They end up just not really being focused on one activity, and a lot of people don't even take the time on a daily basis just to sit and think about life, think about what they're doing, what they want to achieve, their fear, their hopes, their dreams. Most people don't even take the time to think about that, Like when you ask somebody what's their dream, a lot of people cannot even answer that question, because they don't take the time to think about it. Well, it's kind of the same thing in trading. If you want to be profitable, if you want to know which type of trades you should take, if you want to know how you should manage your trades, sit down and think. I'm telling you guys, this is extremely powerful. And I know that, this type of video usually are not the most viewed videos on my YouTube, right? Like most people prefer the vlogs or when something crazy happens and all of that. And of course I understand, right? Like once again, it's human nature and it's fun to watch, but those videos is really where all the value is, So when you truly understand that, well, you need to basically just like really think about what I say, and after that see if it could work for you or not. But what I'm always doing in those videos is sharing with you guys what I do to be profitable, what I do that helps me in my trading, So one of those key ingredients is to simply think deeply. I always think about my trades, the probabilities, the setup, where could I improve if I, executed this trade right, if I made a mistake, what can I learn from it, and all of these things. So when you ask yourself a lot of questions, when you go really deep about, thinking of your trading, it already, improve your results because your mindset gets better. So just to give you a few examples of the type of question I ask myself, I like to approach my trading with as much rationality and as much logical as possible. So whenever I will take a trade, I always ask myself, is this a logical decision? Is this a decision that a robot could have taken, that actually makes sense on a probability standpoint, because trading at the end of the day is a game of probabilities, right? I mean, you buy or you sell, you have a certain probability to be right or to be wrong. If you know what you're doing, you will be more right than you are wrong. If you don't know what you're doing, it will be the opposite. But it's a game of probability, at the very core basic of it. So every time that I take a trade, I always ask myself, is this a logical trade? Am I optimizing the probabilities? Would there be another setup that could be better than this one? Is this a opportunity where I really want to have my capital at risk? That type of question. So when you are in front of the chart and when you take 5 minutes before taking the trade and actually asking yourself those questions, well, you already have a way better idea of what you're doing, what type of trade you're taking, and what type of results you could expect to have from this trade, And so most people that will do this exercise, sadly, they will do it wrong. They will not take the time enough, they will not ask themselves the right question, or worst of all, and this is where I got the title of the video from, worst of all, they will lie to themselves, right? Let's say someone doesn't know how to trade. Let's say someone is pretty new to trading, or let's say someone doesn't have good result. Even if that person does what I just said, asking yourself the right question, well, you're not profitable. So your question and your answers, to those questions will not be good if you are not profitable in the first place, right? So you see, it's like a circular motion that goes through that. So if you are not profitable, well, even if you ask yourself questions and try to answer them, well, you are not profitable. So the answers will not be good, right? So that's why I always, also talk about mentorship, and learning from someone that knows what he's doing, that can teach you how to trade. Because if you can do this, if you can have a good mentor, you will learn how to trade properly. If you are, smart enough and have a good discipline, you will be able to apply that knowledge. Then you will be able to ask yourself questions, and it will just go like this over and over again. And that's how you can create a, profitability on the long term. But if you don't know what you're doing, even if you ask yourself questions, you cannot answer those questions, Just to give you an example, if you don't know what type of rules you should follow to take your trade, and then before taking the trade, you ask yourself, should I take this trade? Well, you don't know, right? Like, you don't have the knowledge to be able to answer this question. So you see what I mean? Like, it's really important to start first with learning properly how to trade. And when it's done, then you can start doing what I just said. So that's basically, the idea. But the most important thing to remember is that in trading, you are your only competition, right? Like, once again, we're all trading the same markets, we're all looking at the same charts. So the only thing that matters is that you are able to read those charts correctly. And your biggest obstacle will be yourself, your own beliefs, your own emotions, your own opinions about the market. All of these things will be the hardest thing to change because they are emotions. And as I said, we are creatures of emotions because of evolution, right? So once you truly understand this, once you truly understand that humans at their core nature are not built to be good traders, well, you understand how much work and how much thinking has to be done to actually get good, right? Like, you cannot just wake up in the morning, look at charts, place trades here and there, thinking it will go well. It's not that easy, like, trading is a business. Like, if you want to be successful at this, you need to treat it like a business. You need to be serious about it, right? So the first step of actually being serious is to really understand what it's all about and to ask yourself those type of questions, so that you don't get in the way of your own results, right? Most people keep themselves away from being profitable, right? Like everyone who's not profitable, it's because of their own self. It's their own fault. They trusted the wrong person. They learned the wrong techniques. They don't have the discipline, emotions, behaviors, blah blah blah. But it always comes down to the person, you know. So once you understand that, once you understand the power of your own self, your own thoughts, your own thinking, well, that's how you can reach your full potential in trading, you know. Like if you compare humans to all the other animals, what we have more than them is the capacity to resonate. It's the capacity to think logically, to see ahead, to predict things, to learn from the past, to learn from mistakes without having to make them in the first place. That's what we have more than other species as human, right? So once you understand what is our superpower, right, which is the mind, well, you have the choice. You have the choice to actually become a superhuman by mastering your own beliefs, or letting this aspect kill you, because it does, right? I mean, I don't need to draw this on the sheet for you guys to understand, right? Like the mind can kill you, or it can help you reach your goals. Which way are you going to go depends on yourself, the quality of your thoughts, the quality of your questions, and, you know, overall just the quality of your thinking. So when you learn how to master the mind, and when you learn how to master yourself, well, things become much easier to actually grasp and to become good in trading. You know, it's directly correlated. I mean, if you know how to master yourself and your mind and your emotions, you will be most likely profitable, because that is where most people fail in trading, you know. Of course, you need to understand the charts, as I said, you know how to trade and all these things, but if you can start with mastering your own self, well, that's already good. And, you know, just to give you guys as well some context, that's the reason why in the Reversal Master course, which is my trading course, that's the reason why most of the first videos that students have to watch are psychology video, you know, how to think as a trader, what separate profitable traders than losing traders, how to master the mind, all the techniques that I've used personally to become the best, you know. And of course, in those free YouTube videos, I'm not sharing everything I do, you know, because I have to keep a lot of things for my students. Those people will always be my priority, but I'm still trying to share as much as possible, as much as I can in those YouTube videos. But, you know, just be aware that there's a lot more that goes on, you know, that you guys don't see on YouTube. But it's basically the idea, you know. Here I really gave you guys, I think, a really good tip, and if you really apply this, if you really take this seriously, you could simply skyrocket your results, you know. I know it sounds crazy, I know it sounds maybe simple, I don't know, but it's really what it takes, you know. And if it sounds simple, well, realize that it's not simple, right? Because once again, we are creatures of emotions. We are built from evolution, and evolution tells us that we have to be emotional to survive. In trading, that's the opposite. You need to remove all your emotions to survive in trading. So you see, that's why it's hard. Like, it's completely the opposite of what humans have, you know, been doing for thousands and thousands of years. So that's basically the idea, and what I wanted to talk about in this video, that you are your own biggest enemy. I hope I gave you guys some type of answer or some type of clue of what you were looking for and what you were thinking that you would hear from this video. I really just spoke my mind, you know, and things that I really think about a lot, just to try to help you as always, and yeah, just provide you value. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please share it around. I would truly appreciate it, and you can also leave a like under the video. As always, that would mean a lot to me. All right, so on that, take care, trade with care, manage your money well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.